American engineering has entered the performance territory of $3 million European hypercars. Chevrolet has built a production vehicle capable of bending the laws of physical traction. The 2026 ZR1X generates 1,250 horsepower. By pairing a twin-turbo V8 with an electric front axle, it commands a price tag north of $210,000. The arrival of this flagship model splits the C8 platform into three distinct six-figure weapons. Each is built on the same architecture, but for a different purpose. Choosing a top-tier Corvette now requires looking past the budget to decide which specific driving philosophy you actually want to inhabit. Buyers face three distinct paths: the E-Ray, the Z06, and the new ZR1X. This matrix shows baseline performance and entry costs. The E-Ray offers 655 horsepower for $108,000, while the Z06 provides 670 horsepower for $120,000. The scale changes when the ZR1X enters. The data bars jump to accommodate an extra 600 horsepower and $100,000 in base cost. To make sense of this lineup, we need to look past the marketing and match the engineering of these cars to actual real-world driving habits. Purchasing the most expensive model becomes a $250,000 error if its engineering purpose contradicts your daily geographical reality. Supercar ownership involves two opposing forces: the desire for physical, analog involvement behind the wheel, and the pursuit of absolute numerical track performance. We can map these forces on a quadrant chart, with visceral engagement running vertically and track dominance running horizontally. Modern engineering has pushed track dominance to an extreme, where achieving it often requires heavy computer intervention. High lap times frequently come at the cost of raw, analog driver engagement. No single car in existence maxes out both of these axes simultaneously. You have to decide which specific experience you value more. The ZR1X relies on massive mechanical inputs. Chevrolet combined the twin-turbo 5.5-liter V8 with a front-mounted electric axle to create an electrified all-wheel drive system. The results are staggering: a sub-2-second 0 to 60 launch, 1,200 pounds of aero downforce, and speed management via carbon ceramic brakes. These capabilities require trade-offs. The hybrid system results in a 4,139-pound curb weight, and managing 1,250 horsepower requires heavy reliance on predictive, computer-managed traction control. On our chart, the ZR1X plots to the extreme far right for track dominance. Because the software manages so much of the power delivery, it sits lower on the axis for visceral engagement. The power limits are so high that your window for full throttle on a public road is roughly 2 seconds. It is a track weapon functioning in a street car's environment. The Z06 takes a different path. It relies on a naturally aspirated flat-plane crank LT7 V8 and track-focused aerodynamic tuning. Without the hybrid system and turbochargers, the Z06 delivers an 8,500 RPM redline, razor-sharp chassis feedback, and instantaneous throttle response. The Z06 is slower in a straight line than its siblings. Its suspension creates a harsher daily ride, and managing a rear-wheel drive setup places higher demands on your driver skill. In our update, the Z06 plots to the absolute highest peak of visceral engagement, though it lands further left on the track dominance scale than the ZR1X. It delivers a highly communicative mechanical connection by sacrificing the pursuit of top-tier straight-line numbers. The E-Ray removes the track day extremes. It pairs the standard LT2 V8 with a front electric motor and all-season tires. This creates accessible year-round traction. You get 2.5-second launches and a quiet electric stealth mode for navigating urban environments. This car lacks track-specific top-end endurance. It misses out on extreme aero packages and the high-revving auditory drama of the LT6 engine. On the chart, the E-Ray lands in the balanced middle of both axes. It offers a supercar execution that prioritizes daily usability over the mechanical limits required for a racetrack. Making your final choice requires an honest assessment of your daily driving environment. If your primary use case demands comfort, cold weather capability, and predictable traction, your path leads to the E-Ray. If you are headed to the track, you have to choose between sensory feedback and absolute lap times. Drivers seeking to manage analog traction and feel the chassis move will trace the route for sensory feedback, landing on the Z06. For those with an unrestricted budget chasing numerical supremacy against Europe's best, the path terminates at the ZR1X. The Z06 remains the driver's choice for feedback and skill. The E-Ray stands as the practical daily driver, built for cold mornings and wet pavement. The ZR1X delivers performance that places it among the fastest production vehicles in history. Its 6-minute, 49-second lap at the Nürburgring matches the times of the world's most expensive boutique brands. However, its limits are so high that they exist almost entirely outside the bounds of public roads. Actual dominance comes from matching the machine's engineering to the roads you inhabit, rather than chasing the most expensive spec sheet on the showroom floor.